Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to the official yapping session about Fruma. Uh, if you don't know or you want a refresher, Fruma is an expansion to WYNNCRAFT, the Minecraft MMORPG. We've known that it's been worked on for about a few years. I think it was from 2021. And since then we've seen 2/3 sneak peeks into the province itself. 2 from a quest and 1 from a video. The one from the video and one from the quest is from a specific town called Espren. My last video was about a joke that I made about this specific part of the map where I pretended to be in Fruma. You have no idea how much brain rot I've been in for this fucking place. Like, oh my god. So, I would like to compile everything and talk about my insanity as I've been recreating part of the map here from screenshots and videos. So, the first thing we ever knew about Fruma that has still remained consistent, that has still remained inside of the game, is the Relos library. The first 2 chapters that are about Fruma, about how I'm trying to remember it when it's literally in front of me. Yeah, Fruma borders Wynn, and at some point, where was the year? Yeah, 350 years ago, so that would be like 650 AP? 650 AP? Or no, it wasn't. Hold on, I'm doing fucking. I thought I was fucking over with collecting information right now, so the envoy part 1. I believe that the Corcus delegate talks us, yeah. Okay, yeah, it was 50 years ago. The Corkins were Frumans, but they eventually found their way to an island in the ocean. The little information we know from Corcus about Fruma is that there's a monarchy and there's the Kaishi, the royal guard of Fruma. The release of Fruma. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so Relos Library. We learned that 350 years ago, a bunch of Fruman refugees left both Wynn and Fruma, and that went to Corcus. From them, we've learned that there's a royal guard, just like Undertale, in Fruma called the Kaishi. From other sources that are just spread across the game, like the library in Levigar, information from the Sea Skipper, just general lore from the beginning of the game, we know that Fruma and the Fruman Queen are giving Wynn a helping hand, the province of Wynn. They're giving them fresh recruits to join their war against the corruption. However, as of recent, it's the rate at which recruits have been sent to Wynn has increased. We don't know if that's still the case, but I would like to believe that it is. So, the two areas that we know of in Fruma are Espren, which resides in the Alburn Forest, and District Slums. Now, in the quest, we actually don't know the name, it's been obfuscated, so we don't know where those slums exist. Also within the quest we actually get a little bit of information that actually it's a bit further ahead. Yeah, you get to learn that there's factories in Fruma. So they've probably advanced around the level or above the Korkians. Next up, something that I would like to point out which is interesting. We're allowed to enter Fruma. We're allowed to roam Fruma from what we've seen. Obviously it's probably gameplay, but still. To explain why that's a big thing, currently, before Fruma has come out, if you try to go to the gates, you are not allowed. A guard just tells you that the queen has locked down the borders, no one can get in, or else they'll be killed. So the fact that we, the player, a human, heavily armored, and uses magic, something that is strictly forbidden from the general populace, to be allowed to just roam around, something ain't right there. Maybe we've disguised, or maybe we're just allowed to be in Fruma. We don't know how or why we're allowed in the province, but we'll find out when the expansion comes. Now, we've seen very little and yet very much of Esprin. A little background on the general area. It's located in the poorest region of Fruma. So it's not really going to have fancy structures, even though they're pretty fancy, all things considered. These are the best recreations I could get from screenshots. Obviously the roof is different, it's not decorated, it's not finished, and it's also a different... it uses similar blocks, but it's just differently textured. But still, it looks pretty fancy, especially with these roofs. One thing that I did do, because it looked weird if not, these planks that I've put here, these are slabs, and from the bottom you could actually see like how this light gray terracotta actually extends down and into the... not down, just further through the whole structure, which is interesting. I'm actually really interested to see how they pull it off, since there's several floors. I wonder how they connect. But anyway, there is... okay, no. From what we've seen, it appears that like Esprin is cut in two, or it has a section of it that is guarded. So if I can actually bring up... don't mind all the fucking brain rot, we'll get to that. So in the Esprin teaser, we're shown, how the gate looks. There's the potion merchant. Here's this tree, which is actually the base of this. That's the bank. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you, but like, look at the background. That looks a bit like a cliff. Maybe it is. Like, I can see waterfalls here. We'll get a better look at them in a moment. Yep. Oop. Hills. Waterfalls. Yeah, that's a way better view. And there's the powder merchant. Here's the trade market. Here's the bank. You can see how emeralds are built into it, as it's the main currency. But the more we go into this trailer, we come to this part. And you can see how it's separated. It's even guarded by people. And it doesn't look as. It looks more fancy than just the general area. This is the central gameplay area where all of your merchants and things are. But this. This is different. I have no idea where this is, by the way. Yeah, it's probably around the town, but nothing matches. From what I've seen, nothing matches except maybe like this scene. See how it's using birch planks, and I think that's either end stone or something. It's a palish texture. Oh, I think that's actually mushroom stem. Yeah. You can see how that also is used for this house. So maybe this is another entrance into the town, but whatever. Yeah. Okay. Remember that wall that we saw, like over here? That's a wall. That's a guard tower. Whatever is happening in Esprin, the military is on watch. Although, from what we've been told through forum posts about Fruma, and about Esprin specifically, it's really not that, like, military. Well, what was it the exact fucking Paris region? There is little government assistance, and the majority of the people don't have an emerald in their name. Yeah. So, like, the government doesn't assist the people or the town, but it certainly does feel like they're present. Now, oh my god. Yeah, here's another view of the guard towers and the walls. Like, something that is odd is how clashing everything is. The general look of the town with its wooden and tiered look. There's specific materials that always show up, like gray terracotta, oak, spruce, dark prismarine, reds and yellows and oranges. You know, those kinds of colors. However, then we get the guard towers and the walls. These walls look haphazardly made, and not like the walls we see through the entirety of the town. This is a portion of the wall that I was trying to recreate, but I lost my fucking mind trying to figure out why things weren't lining up. But like, the general design, spruce, oak, and skywood in this just barely walkable area. And I would contradict it with this super tall stone brick, and then you have stone brick gray. It's just gray all over almost, contrasted to this dark gray, but also green and red, with platforms and with sides of the wall looking like they're fucking in collapse. It's just weird. And so there's definitely some presence of the government. I mean, there's definitely a lot of guards. In one of in the cutscene that we actually see of Esprin, we see Aladar running from so many royal guards that are coming from every direction that chase him, and he barely escapes. So there's definitely a presence of the guard of the military of Fruma in this town, even though they don't assist their people. They just leave them to fend for themselves, which probably leads into the lore of the province. But I am not a smart person. I I could probably think of one idea for the lore. I mean, I have one, but it's definitely wrong, and it's retreading a lot of ground that other provinces and other quest lines have already gone over. So it would feel weird to also do this in the newest region, the most up to date region with the newest tools. Like, damn. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything more to talk about in Fruma, so I would like to talk about entering Fruma. Uh, okay, before we reach that, actually, I want to fucking get rid of this brain rot. So, because I've been looking at the teasers and screenshots of the cutscenes, not that, I've been actually able to make a map of where everything is. So, this is the gate, not you. This here, that's the gate. The potion merchant is right here. We barely get to see this side of the building, which is going to make it difficult. However, Alinus Stin did in his quest guide, he did show like this angle, so like I should be able to get up enough references for this part of the building. So yeah, the bakery is going to be right here. You actually could probably see it here where it showed like a guard stationed on the wall. Yeah, that's the bakery. That's a roasted bird, so that's going to be interesting to put together. There's also this building in the back here that is probably going to be like around here in line with the tree. So yeah, you can see that I've mapped. Actually, wait. Is that another building or is that continuation of the building? Sorry, you can actually fucking see my brain rot at the moment. Ooh. Oh, this is. Wait. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, so I'm mistaken? This doesn't exist. And it's just. Huh. That's neat. Yeah. Do you see this level of fucking brain rot? I'm hyper focusing on fucking carpet on the ground. This path, this small path took me hours. Okay, back to the map. This is the central identifier tree. Uh, I assume it's an identifier, since, for example, in Alakin, the Nivla village, the identifier also rests at the bottom of a tree. You can also barely see purple carpet inside of the base of the tree, which usually implies an identifier. You can also see a sign that is in the shape of an anvil, which usually means blacksmith, so not you. So there's that. There's the bank next to the tree, which has emeralds in it, which normally is the bank. Right. And from the quest cutscene, we see how Aladar runs down this path, and as we're elevated up to see how he jumps over the wall, we can actually look over it. Let me try to see if I can find a screenshot. There we go. Yeah, you can sort of see over the wall how there's a few more houses and a few more trees. And specifically, after he jumps over the wall, we can see we do see, since we enter it, and the rest of the cutscene takes place there, Tazm's house. So, Tazm, the NPC that accompanies us from the start of the game, is from Esprin, and Aldar probably is too. So that's neat. Right. Then there's a second fucking map. So since I don't see any correlations between this area and this area with the frog fountains, the area that I said looks separate, as if it's in the military's control. I don't know where it connects. I can see like a dagger, that's a big dagger sign next to a building, so that's most likely the weapon merchant. And if you think about, for example, Deathless, the weapon merchant is somewhat near to the... I'm blanking, what the fuck? The trade market. So it shouldn't be that far. Also consider weapon merchants and like armor merchants, they usually come as a pair. They are usually around each other, although that's not necessary. But something that is crafting stations. Every town has crafting stations. So from here I don't see any crafting stations for armoring, tailoring, or like weaponsmithing. However, a weaponsmithing station in the weapon merchant house would make sense. And so having all the crafting stations spread out, especially when considering how normally crafting stations are situated around the map, like woodworking stations are usually around the bank. Potion brewing and scribing is usually near the potion merchant. Also jeweling. Cooking, actually I think it's going to be in the bakery. Actually, no, jeweling, well, jeweling, crafting jewels usually takes place around the potion powder master. So I'm not sure how they're going to be mapped out. I haven't actually seen any crafting stations dotted around. Yeah, no. So I'm not sure. Also, here's a better look into the identifier stump. Right, the map. So the lookout tower is definitely something interesting to consider. Like, why does it look so different from even the haphazardly built walls? It definitely looks like it's been through a struggle, almost. I mean, there's definitely been some kind of struggle, or like military, or like, not military, royal, or like something like that. Just some sort of propaganda to join the corruption war and win. But it seems like the citizens have just rejected that idea, which is interesting. However, like, there's two sides to this in my opinion. The propaganda could come from the military, from the royalty, from the queen, and then the citizens came in and rejected that because they didn't want to sacrifice their life for a war they don't have anything to do with. But what if in the past Fruma was less corrupt in the country idea, not the War of the Realms way, where like maybe the citizens wanted to join the fight for the side of Wynn to fight off the corruption, but maybe then they got like I'm blanking on fucking words. I'm talking too much than I do normally. Propaganda from the royalty maybe came in and propagandized the people to think that no, you don't want to join, you want to stay in our perfect province. Woo! Fuck. So that's something to consider. Also, something to consider. Not here. The description of Maple Chimes, the song that plays in Esperon. It's easy to forget the deeper meanings of simple ideas. Popularity appears to eliminate the idea's original purpose. Perhaps it makes the idea much stronger than to those who truly know. That makes me lean to the first idea that, like, the government, or not the government, the high and mighty and the royalty of Fruma wanted the people to go to the war in Wynn, but they rejected. Water. Sorry, I had a water break. So it's interesting to consider. However, like in the game, in WYNNCRAFT, we visit several other poor towns. The closest is, funnily enough, Alekin. The same general idea of a town in the woods that is poor, but they're doing what they can to survive. In Alekin, they face corruption. Ugh, sorry. In Alekin, corruption and spiders are the main threats. However, the song and the general vibe of the area is still pretty upbeat. The same can be said about Esperon. However, we don't know what threat it faces. Like, okay, I need to fucking get this out so, like, it's known and, like, it's registered. Although almost everyone who has done the raid probably knows this. At the end of Orpheon's Nexus of Light, you are able to talk to Orpheon, the manifestation of light. And he talks to us that we need to stop her. Now, who's her? We have no idea. From what I gather, realm beasts like Orpheon, they use they them or it's. However, we don't know that. We've also seen people use he him for Orpheon. So who knows, maybe he's talking about the Dern Beast, the creature of darkness, the manifestation of darkness. But we really don't know. And a lot of people think that the her from Orpheon's speech at the end of the raid is referring to the Fruma Queen. How the fuck Fruma connects to the War of the Realms, I have no idea. But it's interesting how, in terms of level progression, if we consider if the game gets finished, we go from the end of Gavel, High Fantasy, to the Silent Expanse, Eldritch Horror. Then we take a break in Fruma, which seems like just the Wynn province without any issues, or less issues, or other issues, just not the fucking corruption. And then we go back to Eldritch in the Realm of Darkness, Dern. And so it feels odd to have that. It feels odd. Like, I get from a pacing sort of way it might be cool for, like, giving the player a break from the same theme, but I do not think that Fruma is entirely free from the War of the Realms. So that's interesting to consider too. Some people believe that the Fruma Queen influences the balance between light and dark, although I'm pretty sure there's no way to make balance between those two. Anytime they even touch, corruption is formed. So, I'm not sure. My idea for why we're let inside Fruma is that corruption has entered the province, because when we start the game, there's like corruption in the Ragni outskirts, which is pretty close to the Fruma wind border. So who knows what's going to happen from there? Right. So, this brain rot will continue, but before I start talking about this build and going insane over ferns and carpet on the floor, I want to share the first insanity. Before I even started getting sucked up into Fruma as much as I've been for the last few days, I tried to make a map for how I think Fruma will look like. It's bad. It's bad, but it includes some interesting areas and interesting points. Now, we know that the gate exists and it's going to get rebuilt. However, we don't know if we're going to enter. We don't know if we're going to sneak in. My idea is that we're going to just enter, and since Esprin is said to be the first major town that we see in Fruma, I'd like to assume that Auburn Forest takes place around this top area of Fruma. Now, if you look over here, this is the Ragni outskirts. However, this is Fruma. This is the caravan in which we start. This is an old image of the map that I'm working with, so don't mind it. Now, in a recent, well, not that recent update, this area, which used to be just a wooden gate with an opening above, has been rebuilt to be just a solid gate, meaning this area is probably also Fruma. Now, I want you to think about Recover the Past for a moment. We look into the memories of Tazim, at which point he gets captured and sent to the Imperial prison, which from the quest we actually don't know where it resides. It's just called blank Imperial Prison. It could be interesting if it was Esprin, but Imperial Prison makes me think that it's going to be the capital, which actually throws a wrench into the idea that Auburn Forest is next to the prison, which is next to the gate. But besides that, if this is the entrance to the prison, from which we see that like around here would have been the cart in the cutscene gameplay area after we see Tazim's memories. Hold on, I'm gonna need to drink more water. If we assume that the rebuild of this gate means that that is the exit to the Imperial prison, and then this is the jail cell area, then this is the prison. And I'm pretty sure it probably extends a bit more here, since Yeah, since oh my god, uh, uh, damn. So like, if you look at how the map is laid out, there's mountains curving around here into this little valley area where the Imperial Gate is, and then the mountains go up to the side, down around the Fruma area we explore in the tutorial, and across here. And so it creates this little cove, this little corner, which is surrounded by mountains. Super easily defendable position for the Imperial prison. I have no idea where I'm going with this. I just lost my train of thought why I'm even going on this tangent. Right. So, the walls we see in Esprin and the fucking guard towers. And since we're close to mountains, since we saw some from down below, yeah, right here, that makes me think that this position is possible. The military is present, but it doesn't help the town. Almost as if it's just next door, but it doesn't want anything to do with it. I will say though, how relatively small the mountains are. Like, look at how that tall is, for example. Like, you can barely see it, but it's like, Alt tab, please work. It's like around this tall away from the town, I think. Yeah, around this tall. And the border mountains are pretty tall, so that's another wrench to this plan. But I have been working on a second map which also uses the same idea. Now it's not finished, of course, but whatever. Don't save. Right. Well, I think I've yapped enough. How long have I been doing this? 37 minutes. Now it's time to get to the map section. So, the brain rot really starts here. I started looking at screenshots of Recover the Past, the quest in which we see Esprin, and I started to just notice how easily things I can line up. And since at that point I've already made the maps, and so it was like almost like a blueprint I could use. It felt like welcome to being a NEET, by the way. Welcome to being unemployed. I used screenshots and the video to try and recreate Esprin. Like, look at the powder merchant here. You can see his little tent here. Screenshot. I need a good screenshot of it. Sure. Yeah, you can see the little tent area here too. You can see the base of the tree. You can see 2 potion signs. And here, you can see the little areas of carpet, which allows me to connect the trailer or teaser with the screenshots of the cutscene. And so, the start, actually I started over here with making this entrance. Now, if we look at a better screenshot, this entrance is just empty for us and we can't see anything because there's just a big black box around the cutscene area, so we don't see too much. Actually, does this line up? Yeah, this lines up. So I don't know how the insides of the Esprin houses are going to look like. We can see a little into them when when we see the cutscene of Aladar running down this path. We can actually see into this window and into this window, and as the camera is being raised up, we can barely see through this slit, which, again, these spruce planks, they're not there. I'm just putting them there so that it feels a bit more full, as if, you know, it's not just a facade. We barely see how things happen in there, with this being the ceiling of the room, which is interesting. We also like see some areas on trees in the teaser, like yeah, this area, and where is the fucker? Yeah, this area, which I have no idea where it would be. I mean, that looks like water in the background, I think, maybe. Also, this area, I have no idea where it is. It looks like it's looking into the Esprin forest, so it's probably around the borders of the town, or like just at the edge of it, or like outside of the walls. But this area, I have no clue where it is. Like, even looking down here, you can barely see anything. It doesn't tell you whatever. It doesn't tell you anything. There's no signs. There's no carpet that could imply that it's colored to match an area, to match the color scheme of a gameplay merchant. And there's no signs hanging from this building in the back. So, like, I have no idea where this is, but we do see a bit like of like how insides might be decorated. I mean, if fuck, I forgot the town. If the Nebula Village is anything to go by, it's probably similar to how it's decorated outside on these patios. I mean, I see stairs here that goes to another lower platform. In this area, we can barely see just rooftops. So, like, we don't know where this is either, but this does look like a proper staircase and not just a part of the build. It's interesting. It's definitely just like the houses, it's tiered. Everything is stacked on top of each other. Speaking of the houses, it's a unique aesthetic. Now, I'm using endstone here. However, it actually uses mushroom stem. However, and I hate this, but using mushroom stem, yeah, it looks fine when you just have it itself. But using the actual texture pack for WYNNCRAFT, so you know how in base Minecraft, mushroom blocks connect to each other and make that like corkboard sort of look from inside. Yeah, Win doesn't have textures for that, and so it's just blank. It's just a missing texture. So if I really wanted to use mushroom stem, I need to just place them in, and the one by one with the debug stick tell you east is yes, north is yes, up is yes, down is yes, and it's just it's tedious. I would use World Edit, but I don't care enough to install it, and I'm lazy. Saying that I'm lazy when I'm standing in this area is totally a weird thing. So, anyway, I started from this area here, and I started making this path, and at some point I realized, oh my god, the area from which we start the cutscene in, we covered the past cutscene where we see Aladar running. I said that for the third time, I think now. The player is actually sat on this rock, and it's actually a really good like centerpiece to orient yourself. Since like, if I take screenshots but like in F1 and look a bit down, I can like tell where everything is in relation to this rock. And yeah, this area that I said that took me a while, I mostly worked out from screenshots taken from here. I don't know if you can tell from here, but it's a pain. I had to zoom in super far into a mess of blur and pixels to just discern which block is a stone and which block is cobblestone. This is such a dumb detail, but I'm determined to just get it right. And speaking about this fucking path, this tree, the path next to this tree. Look, it's normal stone here. It's normal stone near the base, and then it turns to dark stone. But in the screenshots, it's all dark stone. It's so inconsistent. I hate it. I mean, this is probably an early version of the build, given how I can barely see it from here. Hold on. Yeah. Look at these fucking trees. Look at the canopies. This sucks. It looks like fucking World Edit blobs with air. It's weird. Like, sure, the colors work, but oh, they're so bulbous. They don't look like trees. They look like mushrooms. And there's mushrooms already. There's mushrooms on the trees and on the roofs everywhere and on the ground. We don't need the trees to be mushrooms and have bulbous, solid fucking canopies. Spread them out. Goddamn. Like, this is meant to be like a magnum opus for the current stage of WYNNCRAFT. Why did you make the trees like that? I'm sure that was temporary and was probably fixed. And is probably fixed right now. And I'm sure any inconsistencies in the build style is probably fixed. And there's no builds that look like the worst builds in Wind, like the fucking Corcus air balloon hole. I hope nothing looks like that. So like, oh, that's why I'm not fucking trying to make the leaves, because those fucking suck. I'm trying to recreate the builds as best as I can see, and then I'm just going to make my own trees because that's going to be honestly much easier, but also probably look much better than what we see in the fucking cutscene and the fucking teasers. Can I see? Yeah. Look at this. Oh, look at this harsh line. Oh, these look weird. It's like balloons. It's like I put balloons on the fucking tree. It looks ugly. Ugh. Brother, ugh. This tree looks a bit better, I guess. But ooh. Ooh. It looks like you just plopped on a bunch of spheres from World Edit. Brother, ugh. Disgusting. So, okay. We only see this side and like this side of this building. And also in the teaser, we see a bit of the roof, which is a fucking enigma. It's a fucking enigma. Oh my god. Like, where does this come from? Where does this come from? Where does. What? What? What is any of this? Ugh. Brother, ugh. Oh my god, I just realized that's. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No, oh no, that's a this screenshot, right? So, so how cutscenes work in Win? Uh, you basically you're still the player character. You're in a limbo state of survival and spectator, although you're still technically in survival, but you also have creative flight. But your movement is restricted by I think constantly teleporting you to a position. However, you can move a bit, and especially during the part where Aldar like jumps into Tazim's house, you can actually move a little and see the back of this. So yeah, this works into my idea that this is actually the roof of this building, which is the bakery. And now just yeah. Yeah, you can see. Look at this dumbass. Right. I needed to see. Can't see from here. Trying to find a screenshot of that alleyway, but I can see the roof. Yeah, look at this. Look at this fucking brain rot. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. You can barely see a small sliver of orange wool, which confirms to me this area is actually the roof of this building, which I thought this area was the roof of this building. Oh my fucking god. You can see how fucked I am. This brain rot is insane. And as the crowning jewel of my brain rot for Fruma and Esprin, I present to you the potion merchant carpet. Okay, so this screenshot is the first screenshot that I used for reference. And if you zoom in right here, you can see a bit of the potion merchant carpet that leads into the potion merchant. The thing that started all of this and my maps of Esprin. I need water. Is the fact that I could see the potion merchant carpets and the powder merchant tent. And so from there I could connect both areas. However, from this perspective, blocks are a bit squished and stretched, and so it's a bit difficult to discern, especially at higher distances, how far away something is. So I had to use screenshots like this and future screenshots where I actually zoomed in and got higher res screenshots uh, this teaser and Linus 10's cinematic angles of the cutscene to use them to try to make this area specifically, since in the screenshot it looks so weird. Like you can barely tell. I thought this was 3 blocks at first. No, it's 2. I thought this little carpet was like here, here, and I'd always just come back here, go to tools and utilities, grab a spyglass, and just try to line things up. And it was such a headache, and especially for like this small little carpet, I had to manually like count how many blocks it was, even though like, how can you count this? How can you count this? Look at that. You can barely tell. But if I come back here, why did I throw out the spyglass? You can see this corner and this corner almost connect. This corner and this corner almost connect. So that's the kind of bullshit that I've been using. Now, I still haven't. I could use the teaser to like rebuild this area, so like the Powder Master is actually complete. However, as you can see, I could get really easily like distracted on other parts of Esperin that I can get right away. If only I just look hard enough for like example, this fucking roof. It's just And another thing that was fucking painful to make, this roof. I originally thought it was like either 1 block at a time up, or 2 blocks, 2 slabs, 2 blocks, 2 slabs. No, it's fucking slab, stair, air, block. Like, what the fuck? Fuck this. From this perspective, it looked so fucking weird to try and recreate. I had to literally just make a screenshot that was just like here to just see how this sandstone 2 blocks connect to make a single slab that fits exactly in this corner, to realize, oh my god, it's using stairs. That's the kind of bullshit that I've been on. These fucking guard towers, I have no idea how this area looks exactly, because shaders. Like I can see like a general I can make out generally what it looks like, but like specific textures, especially when in these dark spots, it's a fucking nightmare. I hate shaders, even though they make things look pretty. They make Minecraft builds look pretty, but they also make them look weird. They hide stuff, and that makes mediocre builds look better. It's a whole fucking thing. Right. This area, these areas under the houses are actually pretty tricky, since you barely see them. You barely get any chance to look down there long enough to like see all the way through the other side. That's impossible to get. The most you can get is like a few blocks in, and at the most it's barely recognizable. And especially when it uses fucking concrete, it gets really hard because it's just so monotonous. There is no texture in this. You have to rely on fucking angles and predicting how things look from specific distances to realize where what stands. And I realized that I could just wing it. I'm skilled enough at building that I could just probably patch things up. But there's something about being accurate that's so nice to me. I mean, some things that I can't be accurate on is like vegetation. Because, for example, look at this. If I set block here to short grass, and then right next to it, it fucking breaks. I know that, again, world edit could probably fix that, but I don't know, it's a balance of being block for block accurate, but also like not really giving that much of a shit and working around this limitation. I mean, it looks fine enough. Like, yeah, there's a grass missing here. There's a potato missing here. There's a potato. Wait, I can put the potato here actually. Potatoes, age 7, I think it was. Yeah, 7. Yeah, there's a potato missing here. There's a fern missing here. No, there's a fern there. Fern missing here. I'm like, we'll actually look at these ferns. I gotta fucking touch that up. And yeah, there's definitely a lot more that I can do. Like, I could patch this wall up. I could definitely use the teaser to finish the powder merchant. I could finish the powder merchant. I could build up this plaza area. I could probably reach the bank and the trade market, but that would be a nightmare since this video uses shaders and camera effects, and so it's going to be a bit warped. I mean, no, I could definitely get that. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm going to make a video updating about this project, but it's consuming me. I need Fruma. I need Fruma. I need Fruma so badly. I need it. I'm like a feral cat. I need it. I'm foaming at the mouth. I need it. Please. It's been 14. Has it been 14 months? When was this posted? November. It's been 15. Yeah, 15 months since the last we've seen of Fruma. Please. Please. I want to see how the fucking potion merchant looks like. I don't want to fucking rely on fucking Alina Stan's guide. Actually, no, I'm not gonna search up anything right now. I don't want to use Alina Stan's awful, also shadered, also camera perspective warping fucking video on how to fucking recreate this area. I mean, yeah, given this, so it's 3 here. So we must make a turn here. And since most roofs have like that little space here, so it would be like here and here. Is it like that on here? No, it's a but the screenshots. Yeah, look at this. Huh. This, and then we don't see the roof at all because these fucking trees! Look at this! This is the shit that I'm talking about. These trees are awful. You can't see anything through them, and we all know because we watched BOO that making trees, you gotta make fucking areas for birds to fly through them or shit. They're not blobs. You're not in kindergarten. Make proper trees, god damn it! Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of thinking that goes into this. Like, free winging it, yeah, that could be fun, but like, thinking about how actually it would be made in accordance to how it looks like everywhere else. I mean, look at here. Like, this is the pillar, but. Mm, we actually. Well. Just see what I mean? Yeah, okay, I think I'm gonna fucking stop this. Uh, Sorry. I think I'm gonna stop this because I could go for hours, and I don't think this is going to be uploaded in the time I have left because, yes, this is my Valentine's gift to all of you. Me being a fucking idiot and talking about hyperfixations. I am definitely neurotypical. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. Alright, see ya.